Morning, Steve Freed with the morning grain comments. Well, it's been clear and cool here in Chicago today, and we expect a system to move across the Midwest Thursday and then maybe Friday. So it's going to be kind of a wet turkey day for us in Chicago. As far as the long-range maps are concerned, it looks like next week we could actually see a little bit cooler temps. Then the following week we actually might warm up a little bit. So we'll just see kind of how things unfold as the next 2 weeks progress. South American weather is given an okay. It's a little too wet in the southern parts of Brazil and northern Argentina, but it's also a little dry in Mato Grosso. But overall conditions are pretty favorable as to start out for the 2016 crops. Overnight, beans a little bit higher, corn and wheat a little bit lower. Outside markets are somewhat mixed with the dollar lower and crude a little bit higher. There is more tension in the Middle East, and there were rumors yesterday that somewhat concerned about Ukraine could slow some of their export pace, and that might have helped wheat bounce a little bit yesterday. We're watching Argentina ag policy pretty closely after the election. There's some talk that when it's all said and done, Argentina policy could actually increase their production of crops, which would cut into U.S. export share. It's interesting to note that about 60 to 65% of the time over the last 40 years, soybean futures have rallied the day before Thanksgiving and the day after Thanksgiving. Now we note that there was a string between 2006 and 2011 that prices closed higher. The last 3 years, prices have closed lower. So kind of an interesting seasonal going into the holiday. USDA CBOT will be closed on Thursday. No export sales data on Thursday, and that'll be delayed until Friday. Cash barge prices at the Gulf suggest, though, demand for U.S. exports remain relatively slow, especially for corn and wheat. USDA said that 53% of the U.S. winter wheat crop is rated good to excellent. That's up 1% from last week. Compares to 58 last year. Crops improved in Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, Arkansas, Illinois, and Missouri. As we get into the winter, there's going to be more and more farmer meetings across the Midwest. I would expect that most of the speakers are going to be talking about lower cash prices in 2016 unless there's a weather problem. So most farmers need a plan. Some people are suggesting that if they can, sell cash and buy July calls. If they can't, buy July puts to protect against prices going lower. So anyway, we'll be watching to see how the market goes into the holiday. Funds yesterday were buyers of beans, meal, corn, and wheat. Continue to be big shorts. There was a pretty big drop in corn open interest yesterday, while beans, meal, and oil open interest went up. So again, a little bit higher bean prices overnight, corn and wheat a little bit lower. As always, these are my thoughts, not those of ADM or ADM Investor Services. Have a safe and profitable trading day.